Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to lesson 21 in Hadith. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen wa afdal salati wa tammu taslim ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in wa ba'd. We continue with Saheeh alBukhari by Imam Bukhari rahimahullah, and we come to Kitab al-Fitan, which is a book of afflictions, as well as Kitab al-Ahkam, the book of rulings. So Kitab al-Fitan, Fitan is the plural of fitna, which is afflictions. Any afflictions that come from Allah, fitna that comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is something that's praised, something that increases a believer in, and for Allah, liyamiz al-khabitha min al-tayyib, it separates the wicked from the good. Fitna from a person is from the kabair, is from the major sins, to create fitna, to create disorder, to create chaos and afflictions and calamities upon another person is something that's not praised. This is something that's a major sin. And as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَالْفِتْنَةُ أَشَدُّ مِنَ الْقَتْلِ, that fitna, this affliction, this disorder is worse than, severe than killing. And the first hadith we come to is Bab Dhuhur al-Fitan, the appearance of fitna, of afflictions. بإسنادنا المتصل مشايخنا جزاهم الله خير للإمام البخاري في صحيحه أنه قال حدثنا عياش بن وليد قال أخبرنا عبد الأعلى قال حدثنا معمر عن الزهري عن سعيد عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه, who is the narrator of the hadith, عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, from the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, who said قال يتقارب الزمان وينقص العمل ويلقى الشح وتظهر الفتن ويكثر الحرج. So time will pass rapidly, and that is seen in how in the time of the Prophet ﷺ, the metric was the camel, how long a camel takes to go a distance. That distance is shorter now. We can travel with the transportation we have available in today's world, in such a quicker time. So time will increase, pass by rapidly for us. Just like communication as well. To communicate with someone who's far away, we can just do that instantly. So that is what is meant by يتقارب الزمان, the time will pass rapidly. وينقص العمل, and good deeds will decrease. Okay, so we're able to do a lot of things in a short space of time. However, we're so occupied, we move on to that, we try and do more. We're going to do something here, and then we move on to somewhere else, and then we take a transport. Whatever we do in our lives, we're just so occupied that we don't have time for good deeds, the thing that counts, the thing that's weighty on the scales, and the thing that we can take into the akhirah. So that decreases. Abdullah bin Umar radiallahu anhu, the son of Umar radiallahu anhu, he would spend between Maghrib and Isha. He has time where he would go and spend in charity and things like that. So we need to take time out, devotion to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, do increase in acts, because here is the Prophet ﷺ prophesying about this time of this fitna that's going to be all around us. وَيُلْقَى الشُّحُ, and miserliness will be put out there. People, the rich will be more miser. They'll try and think of new ways to hoard their savings and put it in offshore accounts and all sorts of places that no one can touch it, and it can just grow and grow and grow. So they don't have the love for to give the poor for good deeds. So miserliness in that, in wealth, but also in knowledge, in ilm. The alim, he's not going to teach. So you learn these things, or you're not going to teach. That's speaking in Sharia, but also in other sciences as well. Someone who's proficient and skilled in some kind of whichever field, he doesn't want to teach his apprentice. He doesn't want to share the things that he knows and this of that trade. So people, they become miserly in many ways. The Prophet ﷺ is prophesying. وَتَظْهَرُ الْفِتَنِ, and fitna will increase. This afflictions, and this is in many ways. People don't have respect for the Prophet ﷺ. They won't have respect for the Sharia. They won't even abide by the Sharia. They won't even, they won't even follow it. They don't have any value for it. For the ulama, their words, what they say, no value whatsoever for this deen. Simply put, وَيَكْثُرُ الْحَرْج, and killings will increase. Harj is which is described as harj, which is a word from the Habashi word, an Ethiopian kind of word, brought into the Arabic language. قالوا يا رسول الله أيما هو, because they asked, what is it? What is harj? As it's not an Arabic word. قال القتل القتل. So the Prophet ﷺ, who knew all languages, he said it is killing. So that's going to increase towards the end of times. Then we see that you open the media, you open the news, you see killings, you see one country fighting another, one people fighting another people. And then we move on to the next hadith in ahkam. So ahkam is hukum. So all sorts of sciences, they have hukums, they have laws of physics, laws of from just practice, like a knife cuts, fire burns, so we know this, and we take these kind of points out, and these rules. Rules of language as well. So it can be in many things in language. The maf'ul bihi, the object of in a sentence, is always grammatically in a mansub state, with a fatha on top. So these things like that, in many aspects, in many sciences, each has their own law. Whether it's in engineering, it's in medicine, everything follows things, and there's rules, and there's all this that people study. Also, but this is speaking about specifically about Sharia. So in terms of the Sharia as well, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is that source of hukum, inil hukmu illa lillah, the judgment is from Allah, sovereignty is for none except Allah. This hukum comes from Allah, which is the Quran and the Sunnah, and those are the sources for this for rulings, for law, for legislation, and it's all from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What we are able to do, if'al, do, la taf'al, don't do, things we refrain from, things we do. So it all comes from Allah. What is recommended, what is disliked, what is a condition for something. So in terms of prayer, we need to have wudu for prayers. We need to make sure we cover our private parts for praying. So that has preconditions. But praying a certain prayer, you need to have that entrance of time. That's the condition. There's mania, these things. So this is all described in hukum. There's mania, so things that prevent you from worshipping. So a woman who is in her menstruation, she cannot fast. She'll have to make it up later, but she cannot fast at that time. Praying as well, it's a mania, her menstruation, so she can't pray salah. But this is something that she doesn't not have to make up later on. So these things like that, all that's in ahkam. So this is bab man baya' rajulan la yubayi'uhu illa lidunya. So it's about a person who gives an oath of allegiance, but only for the worldly benefits from it. وعنه بقال حدثنا عبدان عن أبي حمزة عن الأعمش عن أبي صالح. So Abi Salih is an interesting person in this chain of transmission, because he was for the whole 80 years of his life, the first 80 years of his life, in business, in trade, and he was busy with that at that moment. Then he left that, finished that, and he began learning knowledge. So learning knowledge, seeking knowledge is, there's no age limit on that. He started learning at that time for 20 years until the age of 100, and then another 20 years Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted him life, that he 100 to 120 he taught. So this is his last 40 years of his life: 20 learning, 20 teaching. However, obviously, Islam promotes young to learn, the deen, to learn and to study, as comes also by Jibreel alayhi salam, when he comes to teach the Prophet ﷺ about Islam, Iman, and Ihsan. He comes in the shape of a man, and with a shadid sawad dushir. And his hair is severe black, like really, like a young person, not a person who has white hair. So that's Islam promotes learning from a young age, of course, but learning is for every age, and everyone should seek knowledge. It's something that's wajib and obligatory upon us. So that's Abi Salih. And Abi Hurairah radiyallahu anhu, from Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu, who says, قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ثلاث لا يكلمهم الله يوم القيامة ولا يزكيهم ولهم عذاب أليم. There's three people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not going to speak to on the day of judgment. They're just going to be ignored. Can you imagine? To be ignored by our Creator on the day of judgment, and they won't be purified. They won't, their sins won't be purified. They won't be purified from their sins. وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ, and they will be punished severely, severe torment. So there's three types. There's more. I'm just going to mention the three here, but then just quickly add a few others that come from the other books of Hadith. رَجُلٌ عَلَى فَضْلِ مَاءٍ بِالطَّرِيقِ يَمْنَعُ مِنْهُ ابْنَ السَّبِيلِ. So a person who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is blessed with water, that bounty of water, he's a resident of a place, and he lives in a path where people travel, pass by, they're the wayfarers, but he does not give them water. He's denying them like some basic human right, because traveling, especially then, it was such a hardship, and people can die on travels if they don't have their enough provisions. So this is water being denied. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not speak to such person. وَرَجُلٌ بَايَعَ إِمَامًا لَا يُبَايِعُهُ إِلَّا لِدُنْيَاهُ إِنْ أَعْطَاهُ مَا يُرِيدُ وَفَى لَهُ وَإِلَّا لَمْ يَفِي لَهُ. A person who gives an oath of allegiance to a ruler, however, on the condition that he gets some worldly benefit from it, then he will abide by his allegiance, otherwise he won't. So that's like the examples of, well, today's world, everybody, they give this pledge to a president or whoever. Everybody does it for their worldly benefit. So they get some land, they get some wealth, they get some kind of benefit for this worldly, and that's one of the worst things, to do it for seeking the pleasure of this world. But a Muslim and mu'min should seek the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these are examples also from an Islamic history, from the Islamic dynasties, the Banu Umayyad and the Banu Abbas, great dynasties, those dynasties that people would give allegiance due to for in return wealth and other kind of things. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not give He does not give them a second of His time for such people. ورجل يبايع رجل بسلعة بعد العصر فحلف بالله لقد أعطي بها كذا وكذا فصدقه فخذها ولم يعط بها. That a person who sells to another person a commodity, but he swears that someone is giving him a certain price for it. So then that buyer is like now in a way tricked into paying the same price. But in reality, that person, he has not been given that from anybody, that kind of offer. So this is that kind of false oath, and you're swearing by Allah here, halafa billah, you're swearing by Allah, and that is a great sin indeed. So this is another type of person who is not, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not speak to on the Day of Judgment. In other hadith books, we have the Shaykhun Zanin, the adulterer who commits adultery in old age, an old man commits adultery. Malikin Kadhab, a person who is a ruler, but he's a liar. Why does a ruler have to be a liar? What is he scared of? He's not in any kind of, he's not the, there's no pressure on him whatsoever. So why does he have to lie like that? Ailin Mustakbir, a person who's a poor person, but he's an arrogant. He's one who is proud. This destitute person who is proud, who's full of pride. Why to such why does a poor person need to have pride in him and to have this kind of arrogant kind of behavior? Imagine if he was given money, how would it be then? Al-Mannan, a person who boasts about his good deeds and all this charity is given, and such a person Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not speak to. Al-Musbil Izarahu, a person who lowers his garment below his ankles, so that kind of person. Of course, more this is to do with that arrogance, because it's a sign of arrogance. That's what they used to do. From the disbelievers, they would just leave their garments to go forth, and this is like a sign of pride and arrogance and that kind of thing. And when we have so like we said, one person who sells things under a false oath and deals in that kind of thing, taking false oath and tricking people and deceiving them into making a sale because of some kind of statement he says, which is really false, and no one's offering him such a price, so and so. وصلى الله سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم.